shit, yeah, they bread stank. Walk up in the club, dripping like I'm fresh paint. I could see through.
What's going on, fight fans? It's another great day when you love MMA. Welcome back to Mad Matty Fight Talk with your host, Mad Matty, once again with Crazy Chris. We got a big fight coming up on the UFC 273. It's the co-main event. I wanted to give this fight a special little spotlight between Aljamian, the champion Sterling, versus Petr Yan 2. This fight been in the making for a long time. Everybody has been waiting for this rematch. I cannot wait to see these guys fight. For one, I want to see Petr Yan retain his title or get it back, however you want to put it. How do you feel about this fight?
Yeah, I'm pumped up, man. This is so the funny thing about this fight is I believe when they first booked it in 2020, Petr Yan got sick with COVID. They had to rebook it months later. Then the knee happened, and then Aljo had a reoccurring neck injury, so surgery. So now they're booking it again after Corey Sandhagen lost to Peter, and Peter is now the interim champion. So it's going to be a champion versus champion fight. I'm very excited to see this. The last time that we've seen Aljamian Sterling in the ring was here. Let me have a little note here. It was back in March 6th of 2021. So he's been out for a full entire year after with his neck surgery after his last fight. So it's going to be interesting to see how he goes in there. Does ring rest play a factor? Does his cardio play a factor? Because Petr Yan just won the interim champion from Corey Sandhagen, and that was not an easy task, not an easy fight at all. So we know that Peter's cardio is going to be there. He's going to look a little bit sharper. How is Aljo going to come into this fight?
Yeah, Aljamain's last fight was against Petr Yan, where he took that knee, the illegal blow that disqualified Petr Yan, and Aljo put on the performance of a lifetime. And, I'm not mad at the guy because, honestly, if you want to win a belt, fuck it. I mean, you might as well do it any way you can. But in my eyes, if that is not a fight-ending injury and you clearly are rolling on the ground, and I mean, I don't know, I'm not the guy. Maybe it affected the neck injury that he had to fix, but I don't really respect that as a champion. I mean, obviously, the fight was not as close as I thought, but one judge actually, Ron McCarthy, I don't know what fight he was watching, but he had it 2-1 to Sterling so far in that fight. I mean, it was closer than a lot of people give it credit. I mean, really, yeah, I'm looking at the scorecard and he actually got the first 2 rounds to Sterling. So, I mean, There were people that thought that he was winning that fight. I don't believe he was going to win. I think he was going to lose. He looked like he was gassing out. And the thing about Petr Yan is he controls distance so well, and he was avoiding takedowns. His takedown defense was a lot better than people thought it was going to be in that fight. And I think that's going to be a big factor going into this next fight. And real quick, I also think that Petr Yan didn't take any time off. He still believes he's the champion, and he took on top contenders like Corey Sandhagen, which allowed him to keep fighting and to keep, getting better and better. And I think that's going to be a big problem for Aljamain when they finally meet again.
Yeah, absolutely. Look, Petr Yan is the type of fighter that goes in there and he'll analyze you for an entire round. I mean, he'll give you an entire round. So if that judge had it 2-1, I could see them giving 1-2. Maybe, but 2-1 was a little bit ridiculous. Petr was clearly dominating that fight going in, but he's known to do that. He is a slow starter. If Aljo can catch him like he caught Corey Sandhagen, with that crazy rear naked end, he could possibly go ahead and finish this fight early. But that's going to be a tall task for a guy who's never been finished in the UFC. Or honestly, we haven't even seen Petr Yan get very much rocked at all. So it's going to be a tall task, for Aljamain Sterling. Look, my take on it. What does Aljo have to do? Aljo has to go in there and be creative. He has to utilize. We saw in the first fight, he didn't utilize his energy the right way. He needs to go out there with his tall, lanky, style fighting, his karate, point boxing, and he needs to do those crazy leg kicks to shots to the takedowns. He wasn't doing that. He was just shooting regular shots. We know that that's not his style. His style is going there.
It's because he couldn't touch him.
Go ahead.
It's because he couldn't touch Yan. Yan was controlling distance so well. He couldn't get into a comfortable rhythm, and he wasn't landing shots. And I'm not talking about takedowns. He wasn't landing strikes either. So, I mean, that just goes more credit to Petr Yan if you want to look at it that way. Aljo is one of the most creative strikers in the UFC period. I mean, he's very dynamic, but he likes to put pressure on, and you can't pressure a guy who is so good at so elusive.
Well, that's what I'm saying. What does he need to do to win? He needs to be his creative self. He needs to go out there and throw a leg kick to a takedown to a heel hook. He needs to do those crazy things because Petr Yan's seen it all in the gym. He's one of those technical fighters that's trying to read you. But if he cannot read your style of fighting, like they say the hardest, Corey was saying the hard thing about getting ready for Aljo is he has a crazy style. He's very unpredictable on how he's going to shoot in. When he fought Petr, he was just shooting in. So he needs to be creative. He needs to fight from the outside. He needs to be able to, he needs to be able to get this fight to the ground a couple times. And that's going to be a tall task.
Yeah, and if go ahead.
Petr Yan, on the other hand, what he needs to do to neutralize this fight, and he needs to neutralize the center of the ring, keep Aljo on, with his back to the ring. Now, if he can analyze that, if he can get that part done and analyze some leg kicks to follow that, then it's going to be a tough night for Aljo at the office. And that's one of the big key factors I see Petr Yan using, with the pressure and pace, putting him against the fence, so he doesn't have that room and that the length and range to do those crazy techniques.
If I'm Aljamian Sterling, judging off of the first fight, he was so impatient and he didn't set anything up like you were saying. If I'm Aljo in this next fight, I would sit back and let the fight come to me. I would because Yan is a counter fighter. He's so good at controlling distance for being how short he is. He's not a big dude, but he's just really, really smart. And the thing about it is, if Aljo can sit back and, bait him into striking and make him go first, which he has, I don't know what he was thinking the first fight. He rushed and tried to put pressure and wasn't landing, wasn't being successful. If he can be patient in this fight, Aljo is good. He's a good fighter. And, a lot of people don't give him credit because he took that illegal knee and won the belt that way. But if he sits back and lets Yan open up first, he has a potential to grab onto him. In a clinch fight, it's way different. If you were,
well, let me backtrack real quick because you brought up a good point. He didn't have the same, let's just say he didn't have an Aljo style game plan going in there. Now, we knew going into the first fight that he removed Matt Serra from his corner. Now, that guy, Matt Serra, the biggest upset in UFC history probably, was in his corner for 8 fights prior to that. Now, do you think that played a factor going into the championship fight by removing somebody who's been so close to you in your corner?
I think it probably, obviously it would if you're having success with that guy, especially somebody who's experienced as Matt Serra is. Removing him isn't I don't know what the deal was with that. If he's getting him back for this fight, great. But yeah, I feel like the experience of Matt Serra would have played a part in that fight. He probably would have said some of the same shit I'm saying now. You need to slow down and let this fight come to you. You're leaving too much openings. You're looping punches. You're going for shots that you're not landing. In Aljo's mind, he thought he was winning. So that is, to me, is what I'm worried about for him going into this fight. Realistically, I think Petr Yan's going to win anyway. But Aljamain Sterling, if he thinks he won the first fight, he's going to have big problems doing the same style. If he brings that same style into this fight, he's going to run into getting knocked out. And I believe Petr Yan is going to finish him in the fourth round for sure. I don't see this going the distance. I think Petr Yan is going to knock him out.
I think this is what I think. I think that when he removed Matt Serra from the corner, and this is days before going, into that fight, that was a big change for his camp, man. And we don't know. He's been doing a neck surgery. Now he's with a new gym. He's not spending all his time at Ray Longo's and Matt Serra's academy anymore. How is that playing a factor? Look, I can't bet on him on this fight because of the neck surgery. He removed Matt Serra. Matt Serra got you to an 8-fight win streak. You're on a 9-fight win streak because of an illegal knee, buddy. You would have lost that, right? If you're not going to be real with the fans, just be real to yourself. But here's the thing. Petr Yan has not changed a damn thing. That kid has been killing it. He's taken out. Corey Sandhagen is no easy task. Very tall, lanky, very sniperish with his style of fighting, very technical in his ground and his stand-up. And Petr Yan made him look fucking silly in the 4th and 5th round. So for me, if I'm a betting man, Petr Yan I think he puts a stamp on it, like you said, and I think he puts him away late in the later rounds.
Nothing against Aljo. He's very creative, but styles make matchups, and his style versus Yan's style. Look, Yan's a hard fight for everybody. He's not an easy fight. Sandhagen's not an easy fight. And when those guys went at it, Yan got the better of him. I think he's going to do the same thing to Aljo. Aljo's definitely going to lose this fight. If you're putting money on this, you never know. He could shoot in, land to some crazy submission, but realistically, Yan's really good at controlling distance, and I think he's going to get the job done.
I think, honestly, I'm the type of person, when I analyze a fight, I really like to see who's in the corner and what the corner is telling that person, because that makes a big difference in the fighter's mentality. And when the fighter's tired and they say, hey, remember the game plan, remember the game plan. But if you're tired and you're losing and your coach is saying, great job, let's get another round out there like that, that's a big difference, man. And I think when he removed Matt Serra, he took that, like you said, that realistic part where he says, hey, man, this isn't going our way. This is what we need to do. That's Matt Serra. That's why you had that guy in your corner, not because he just has a great jiu-jitsu background. He's been an ex-UFC champion and all that stuff, because the knowledge that he has is so smart. And he's going to be real with you. I think that plays too much of a factor. And I just cannot bet Aljo's going to be any different going into the rematch. And I can bet you, we can believe you me, we can bet that Petr Yan is going to go in there being exactly who he was in his last 5 fights. So I'm going Petr Yan. I think he puts a stamp on it. I think he gets up, is so upset about losing his belt in the first place. He puts an absolute stamp on this fight by, if not finished, pure domination.
I agree. Yeah, I think he finishes the fight. In the most deep division in the UFC, probably the most deep division, the lightweight division, Islam Makhachev thought he sealed the deal by beating Bobby Green to get the #1 contender fight. Dana White had other plans for that. He said, no, sir, you still need to take on Beniel Dariush. Now, I think a part of that played into the fact that Makhachev turned down. Now, there's flip-flop on both sides of this, but according to Dana White, Makhachev turned down the Dos Anjos fight for this last pay-per-view card. He said that he was going to step in. There's some verbal back and forth between him and Islam and Dos Anjos, and then Dana White said the fight fell through. I guess Makhachev said he had very small requirements for him to fight, and Dana couldn't meet it, and this and that. I don't think he wanted to take on a guy like Dos Anjos on short notice, to be honest, especially if Dos Anjos is saying he wants to go to 170. But regardless, all of that has led us to where we are now. Charles Oliveira is going to fight Justin Gaethje for the championship, and I believe that Islam Makhachev and Beniel Dariush, it's no time set for this fight yet, but they are definitely fighting, is what Dana White said. I like this matchup, and I'm excited for this matchup. What are your thoughts on this fight?
I think this is a terrible matchup for Beniel Dariush. I think this is absolute travesty. Look, the thing about Islam Makhachev is he's been training partners with Khabib his entire life. You have two guys that fight the exact same way, and they're very good at what they do. Beniel has a way better analyzation of how to fight Islam, because he understands that Islam's not looking to take you down 6 times a round. He's looking to take you down 1 and hold you that entire time in the round. So I think Beniel has a good mindset, but athleticism, age, just all these other things, man, come into play. And then, Beniel getting hurt and not taking a surgery, and instead of taking the surgery, he's gonna naturally heal his leg. I don't think he's gonna have the same athleticism and ability and capability to do the things that he's gonna want to do in the time frame. But I think Islam Makhachev makes easy work of Beniel Dariush, takes him down in 1 and gets it done in 1.
I think you're absolutely insane. First, I don't know where you think that's happening. Islam Makhachev's on a 10-fight win streak. He's fought 1 ranked fighter out of 23 pro fights. 1 ranked fighter, and Dan Hooker. And yes, he destroyed him. Dan Hooker's a featherweight who moved up to lightweight and didn't have much success.
Round 1. Bobby Green, round 1. You're gonna tell me Beniel Dariush is it gonna get taken out in the first round?
Bro, Beniel Dariush is an outstanding grappler. This is gonna be Makhachev's by far his toughest fight. We're gonna see. This is to prove. Look, Dana White knows just as well as I do. This is the toughest fight that you're gonna get.
You're gonna have I think you're gonna get upset when you find out the facts when we watch this fight play out.
Look, you're not wrong by thinking that Makhachev can just pin this guy to the ground. I highly doubt it. Look, you took Bobby Green on 5 days or 4 or 5 day notice. I'm as a fight fan, I love Bobby Green. I love Makhachev, but I'm not impressed with that. Anybody who knows anything, Bobby Green spent the whole 5 days cutting weight, no game plan, went in there to make a paycheck. I mean, why not? Yeah, I agree. Good. I mean, good. I hope if you can't dominate somebody taking a fight on 5-week notice and you had an entire training camp,
5 days.
Yeah, whatever. 5 day notice, whatever, you had an entire training camp and you can't beat him in the first round, I'm not impressed with you anyway. So he needed to do that. And no, that's no knock on Bobby Green. Second of all, Dan Hooker, like I said, he has the frame of a featherweight. He's a bad motherfucker, but Islam, from what I hear, from interviews I've heard, is one of the strongest grapplers in that division. But Beniel Dariush is no joke. He's going to have a hard time getting this fight to the ground, and you're going against a guy who is outstanding at grappling and submitting people. So how you believe in your mind that Makhachev is just going to easily take this guy to the ground? Like, he's not Khabib. Khabib fought top-notch competition.
Look, yeah, I agree with you. He's not Khabib. And, the one thing that we did see with Islam in his younger days is he did get caught with a crazy hook and put away. But that's the fight game. You're not going to win every single entire fight. But let me tell you something, man. If we put these guys in the ring at the age they are, the strength they are, the talent they're at right now, everything right now in this moment, and we simulate this 100 times, Beneil doesn't win 10 of those fucking fights. I'm telling you that from the bottom of my heart. I truly mean that. And I'm telling you 50% of those times you get beat down in the first round. But look, there are levels to wrestling. And the scary thing about it is when Beneil says, oh, I want to wrestle with him. You don't want to wrestle with him. Guys who are middleweights don't want to wrestle with him. Why would you want to wrestle with him?
Because Beneil is a great grappler. He's not afraid to engage.
Beneil's a great. This is the thing that I tell people. Okay, in MMA, if you're not extremely, and I mean like Charles Oliveira jiu-jitsu good, jiu-jitsu always loses to wrestling. Wrestling will always win the rounds. So even if he is surviving the rounds, he's gonna lose the rounds.
Here's the thing, though, is Beneil is just as capable of taking Makhachev down. And I'm not saying this is an easy task, all right? I'm just saying he has the same capability of taking Makhachev down and holding him down.
Can we get a stat up of when the last time when the last time Islam's been taken down? When's the last time Islam's been taken down?
Who has he fought? Nobody's. He's been fighting nobodies.
Israel Adesanya fought two nobodies when he first entered the league in the UFC, and he got taken down like 4 or 5 fucking times. Okay, and those were nobodies, and now this guy can't fucking take him down, right? So that's like saying well, who has he fought 6 years ago? Well, he's not 6 years ago. Is now he's in the top 10. He's fighting guys who are in the top 10. He had a late replacement. You're not saying RDA fought somebody lesser, even though he took a short notice fight with somebody who obviously.
Renato Moicano is a bad dude, bro. That wasn't an easy fight.
Renato Moicano is just like Bobby Green, and Renato Moicano said he was eating cake and drinking Heineken before he caught that plane to Vegas. So
I agree.
You can't tell me.
Look, listen. Beneil both of these guys are training for each other. Both these guys are good at grappling. I'm gonna listen to what Anthony Smith said recently, that Makhachev is not impressive. He does the basics very good. And that is great. That is a good thing to be good at. That's true. But Beneil has been through way tougher fights and way more serious competition, and he's had success. Makhachev hasn't faced anybody who can give him problems.
You're comparing Makhachev. Okay, so this is what my opinion is you have a 1989 Jeep Wrangler, and you're like, dude, this thing's lasted this entire time. The oil's always been changed on time. This thing can survive in the mountain. You're gonna smack the sun. This bad boy's ready to go today. And Makhachev is the fucking brand new 2021 Corvette. I'm sorry, dude. I'm going to take the fucking Corvette. That's just what it is.
All I'm saying, hey, look, you're not wrong. Who doesn't want to get behind a 10-fight win streak, 22-1, Khabib's right hand man? I'm not buying the hype, bro. Like, I just can't. Look, you're doing exactly what professional boxers do. You're taking on fucking punching bags, slamming them on the ground and TKOing them. It looks great. And
Bill Sonnen said it the best. You fight the lowest ranked guy for the highest pay-per-view points you can get, or the highest point in the card you can get, and you take that every time.
I'm not mad at him, but I'm not stupid. All right. I'm not gonna buy into this nonsense. Beneil his
talent's not real, man.
No, and we're gonna find out, because Beneil is a real talented fighter who is really good and who's been good for a long time. Look, he's fought a lot of good guys.
When Luke Rockhold said, "I fucking hate grappling Islam Makhachev because he's so strong," nobody says that about the Beniel Dariush.
I don't know.
Nobody said that at 185 about a guy who's fought at 205 and 185. Nobody from Beneil's camp is saying, "Oh wow, he's so strong. He fucking the 185ers and 205ers don't want to grapple him." But that's what I'm telling you, man. You guys got to be real with yourself. This is an AKA camp. Like, this dude's from Russia, comes down to one of the best camps in California with Coach Javier, who Javier Mendez is one of the geniuses of the sport. Like, the guy has a extremely good game plans, extremely good camp. He's in shape. Look, if you're telling me, Chris, who does your heart want to win? I'm always going to go with the American bred. I'm always going to go with Beniel Dariush if my heart says, who do you want to win? But let's lay down the facts. Like I said, he's stuck in the mud, man. The guy's old. He's not going anywhere quick. He had gray hair.
He's having nothing but success of lately. So for you to say he's stuck in the mud, I mean, he's making other fighters look like they're stuck in the mud. He's blanketing them the same way.
He taught Tony Ferguson on the end of a Tony Ferguson streak and on a losing streak, and that's the only fight he's won that's of any significance of the recent. And you're gonna tell me he's all of a sudden hitting lightning in a bottle? That's not how that works, man. He's won one big fight. Now, I'm telling you, don't be sad when Makhachev sits on his chest and buries him in 2 rounds.
That could totally be the case. I'm not, like I said, Makhachev's on a 10-fight win streak. He's earned that. He's tough as fuck. He used to fight at 185 back in the day.
What's Beneil's win streak? Is he on a win streak?
He's on a 7-fight win streak.
Oh, really?
He's no joke either.
You know how nobody knows that? Because nobody cares about Beneil, man. Nobody cares about it. That's why nobody.
And listen. The only reason people know of Islam Makhachev is because he trains with Khabib. If it wasn't for Khabib, nobody would know who the fuck that guy is either.
That's good promotion, man. You have one of the that's your
and
take road, brother.
My point is that Beneil, he's not an outspoken guy. He comes and he fights. I agree with you. He needs to speak the fuck up. But once again, the only reason Islam is known is not because he's an amazing fighter. Nobody gives a fuck about this guy's fights.
This is gonna sound funny, dude, but I truly believe this too. I think he should train with Henry Cejudo, bro. I think he should get some rounds in with Henry. Henry's a really good wrestling coach and has helped a lot of fighters recently. Look at Figgy. Look at Figgy. He won the fucking belt man training with Henry.
Win or lose, Beniel Dariush is more exciting to watch than Islam Makhachev. Hands down.
Hands down, agreed.
Then my point is that he is going to go in there and he's going to fucking fight his ass off. Makhachev hasn't had any adversity because he fights fucking scrubs. No offense to Bobby Green. You took it on 5-day notice. Dan Hooker, he's bigger, way bigger and way stronger than you. You're not.
That was a terrible match from Jump Street.
It wasn't a good fight for you, but regardless, all right. And this is no disrespect. This is just me going off what I know, all right. I don't think Makhachev is all that he's hyped up to be, and I will think he is if he beats somebody like Beniel Dariush. And you know what's fucked up? Even if he gets past Beneil easily, I want to see him take on somebody like a Justin Gaethje or a fucking Michael Chandler or even a Tony Ferguson, dude.
That's what I'm trying to tell you, bro. Like, don't get caught up on the hype train with Beniel Dariush, brother. Like, yeah, he's on a 7-fight win streak, but there's a reason why the promotion hasn't said shit or put him on any bigger fights. They don't care about that guy, dude.
Dana White must care to make Islam fight him because these guys are top 4 people. Like, Beneil is not a low-ranked guy.
Look at the top 10. You have to look at the top 10. Dana knows Connor out, Dustin Poirier out, Justin Gaethje and Oliveira are already locked in. Who else is he building up? He needs to build up the other guys.
Well, and honestly, that Beniel Dariush, he isn't the greatest striker, but he is a great grappler. He has the potential to submit any of those guys in the top 10, including the champion.
Don't be surprised. Don't be surprised if Islam even catches him a little bit on the feet, dude. I'd be surprised because Islam is lanky, man. He swings hard.
I don't know how long this fight's going, but I'm assuming they're going to be a main event on some sort of fight card. Yeah. If they're the co-main and they fight 3 rounds, Benil's winning a 3-round decision. He's going to stuff takedowns.
Oh my God. No way.
He is. You're going to be in for a shock when Islam can't get this guy to the ground and he has to stand up.
You're going to eat some humble fucking pie.
Here's the thing, bro, is Islam, he's not a bitch. He'll stand there and trade with guys. And I think Beneil can catch him first.
Let's be okay. Look, I want to say this. Anybody at this level, their mental game, everything that they put into it, it's all there, man. You have to be the complete package to be in the top 10 in the UFC. So Beniel Dariush, No disrespect, one of the great fighters right now during this time frame.
Beniel Dariush, decision, unanimous. Maybe split.
Islam puts his ass away within 3, I guarantee. Away in 3 and guarantee. That's what I'm saying. Islam in 3, I guarantee it.
Well, fight fans, let us know who you guys have winning between Aljamian Sterling and Petr Yan in the second fight, and also who you have between Islam Makhachev and Beniel Dariush. There's no set date on this yet, but they are guaranteed going to be fighting. Hit the bell icon to be notified of more videos drop like this. Leave us a comment on who you guys think are going to win and what you guys want to see next. We're out. Peace.
Haters talking shit, yeah, they breath stank. Walk up in the club dripping like I'm fresh paint. I can see through the facade like an